What's happening, people? What's going on? What is going on? What's happening with you? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Not feeling good today, but I'm here. I am here for part 2. Part 2, lie to me. Lie to me. No, don't tell me the truth. I don't want the truth. I don't want to hear the truth. I need you to flat out just lie to me. If you lie to me, I'm going to be just fine. No problems at all. But if you tell me the truth, I'm going to fight you tooth and nail. I'm going to fight you tooth and nail. I'm going to battle with you. When you tell me the truth, I'll do everything possible to prove you wrong. I like that, though. I've been going around and around with Mitch here. Mitch just can't admit sometimes. That's what cracks me up about people. I mean, if I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. I've come on here and I've apologized. I've said I'm wrong. But there are some people who just, it's hard. It's so hard just to say, you know what? That's true. That's true. No, truly, really, it is. It is hard, especially these days. Especially when you have the combination of the Republicans on this side and Democrats on this side. That's the problem. People are sitting there going, "What's wrong with America? What's wrong with the world today?" I just told you. You got those who have dug into the sand of the Democrats, and no matter what you say or how you say it or what you do, you could give them video evidence, and they will not believe you. You got those that have dug into the sands of the Republicans. No matter what you say, how you say it, video evidence, they will not believe you. And somebody said today, well, how do we bring these two? We don't bring them together because it's never, listen to me. Us outright-minded, open-minded people who see the world as it should be, not the world as socialist, not the world as white nationalists, deep-rooted progression, MAGAs, people who don't see that crap, us, who sees the world as God intended it to be, we have to come together. I know I've come to that conclusion because you have to lie to these other people to get them to somewhat understand anything. You have to lie to them. I need these people who believe, who understand that we are truly one people. And if we come together and start running this country and everybody has a fair chance and a fair shot, I think we could. That's why things are turning the way that they are now. That's why things are turning the way they are now. And like I said, in a few years, and I'm not going to be here. You may not be here. But there's going to come a time when this whole thing is going to be flip-flopped. There is. It's happening. The reason, come on, people. The reason Trump is in office is to try to stop it. Y'all can say what you want. It's the economy, this and all this. See, you're lying to yourself. You're lying. You're lying. I'm not going to let you lie. Trump is in office to make sure that he closes the borders so no brown people come in, so we can slow down the progression of what is eventually one day is going to happen. I see it. You see it. Everybody sees it. It's plain as day. But see, we lie. I know a couple months ago, what was his name? The racist, the real true racist kid, Nick, what's his name? Fuentes. And everybody was like, "Oh, Rev, you put out here that you like Nick." I like Nick because Nick tells the truth. Nick Fuentes is straight up. He's a straight up racist. Nick don't have no ifs, ands, buts about who he is. Nick can go down south and fit in perfect. People down south, you know they racist. They know they're racist. They don't hide it. The problem is up north in Minnesota, you got some that hides it, except for some people that I know in Duluth, in Buffalo, Minnesota. But I don't think those trenches people who went on the Democratic side and dug in, and they don't believe anything other than what the Democrats tell them, we're not going to get them, people. I don't believe the Republicans who have dug in, trenched in, and believe everything the Republican Party tells them. I don't believe we're just not. And it's not like it's a bunch of these people. No, really, it isn't. I have to believe in my talking to people, walking around, dealing with people in the world, I have to believe a lot of people believe that if we all come together and start doing this right, that these politicians can't treat us like crap. Because this is how it works, right? True, this is how it works. We know politicians lie. Duh. But in order for their lie to work, they need people. They need people to take that lie that they give and to stretch that lie as far as you possibly can. That's what they need. Their lies don't work if you look inside that lie. So I had to take to get my bachelor's degree. I had to take a theology class. And in this theology class, one of the things that and it woke me up. This professor, he woke me up big time. Because he would make us look inside things, right? Like he was saying, he goes, when you go to the movies, think about it for a second. When you go to the movies, you're not going to the movies for the title, right? You're going to the movies to look inside of what that movie. It's like, think about it. When you go to the movies with your significant other or your friends or whatever, when y'all leave that movie, you're not talking, like he said, you're not talking about the title. You're talking about things that's inside of the movie, right? What you saw at the movies. You're talking about the bits and pieces that happened in the movie that shocked and surprised you or scared you. That's what you're talking about. See, the problem with the politicians when it comes to us, the politician only wants us to talk about the title, not what's inside of their lie. Here's my lie. That's all you talk about. Don't go inside the lie. This is why I keep telling you all. You gotta stop looking at just the surface of what the politician. Look inside the lie. The lie, the true lie that they're trying to get up to is inside what they said and how they say it. Give you a perfect example. Hold on, let me play something for you. I'm going to play something for you. So let me show you. Here you go. Let me see if I got this queued up right. I may not have it queued up right, but this is Jason Lewis. Okay? And I'm going to show you something. This is Jason Lewis. But it's an intro to this, and I don't know if I got it queued up right, but I'm just going to hit play, and we'll go from there.
Betrayal. Let's break it down. Situation in my home state of Minnesota where we've got a number of daycare providers that are openly violating federal and state laws and regulations, taking money for personal use, using the money to set up a fraudulent child care client, and then providing a kickback has been reported. This is a major issue. There are allegations that, well, not just several, you've got 23 child care or daycare centers either closed or under investigation. The fraud may go as high as $100 million. Now think about that. In fiscal year 2018, Minnesota received $120 million in federal funding. The state contributed about $50 million in matching and maintenance funds, and we may have a fraud case of nearly $100 million in this state, with money then being transferred out of the country via MSP Airport. This is a big issue in my home state of Minnesota. Can you share with me what your agency is doing to investigate this? And I'm just wondering if we could not come up with some form of stricter enforcement to monitor the states that are receiving these funds to make certain that there's some sort of oversight here. Thank you for your testimony today. I yield back.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lewis.
Let's take a trip.
That's 10 years ago. Jason Lewis in Washington. That's a Republican 10 years ago talking about fraud. Now, remember when I begin this thing by saying this. Let's break down what he said, but let's talk about the things inside of what he said. One of the things, I don't know if you guys picked it up, but Jason said that the money was being put overseas, correct? Not only overseas, but it was being used on golf courses. Who's on the golf course? Come on, people. Again, if you're going to hang out with me, you got to think. We're not doing normal here. We don't do normal here. Who's on the golf courses? Y'all know who's on the golf courses. But he spelled that out inside this. White collar crime is also going on inside this. But see, this is things that we don't like to talk about that. We overlook that type of stuff because we don't want the truth. We don't really want the truth about everything that's going on. 10 years ago, this man sat there and spelled out all of this fraud that was going on in Minnesota. And nobody did nothing about it. He even said the state, my state of Minnesota. And the Republicans are running around here and try to act like they knew nothing up until this kid, Nick, went down there. We had no clue. Nick blew the doors off this thing. Oh, yeah, if it wasn't for Nick, we wouldn't have known it. Really? Hold on. I just want to make sure. Let me do this here real quick. I just want to make sure.
Think about that. In fiscal year 2018, Minnesota received $120 million in federal funding. The state contributed about $50 million in matching and maintenance funds, and we may have a fraud case of nearly $100 million in this state, with money then being transferred out of the country via MSP Airport. This is a big issue in my home state of Minnesota. Can you share with me what your agency is doing to investigate this? And I'm just wondering if we could not come up with some form of stricter enforcement to monitor the states that are receiving these funds to make certain that there's some sort of oversight here. Thank you for your testimony today. I yield back.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lewis.
Let's take a trip back.
I just want to make sure we heard what we heard. That was a Republican who sat there in Washington, D.C. 10 years ago and put this out for everybody to hear. So I'm going back and forth with Mitch. And Mitch, Tom Emmer, this, and if y'all, listen, hold on. If y'all buy into this Tom Emmer crap, you's a fool. You's a fool. Tom Emmer is the biggest hypocrite And that's why, and everybody always sit there and go, well, why can't the Republicans win? Because they put people like Tom Emmer. They put people like Tom Emmer up for election. That's why they can't win. It ain't ballot harvesting. It ain't cheating. It's their candidates that they put up to be elected. That's why the Republicans can't win. The Tom Emmers is the reason why Republicans can't win in Minnesota. But they don't want to hear that. They rather hear a lie. That's what this is about. It's about the lies that people want to hear instead of the truth. So I've been going this whole week, I've been going back and forth with some of these here Republicans, showing them the lies, giving them the hard truth, and they just it's literally like it's like trying to catch a baby and putting a diaper on the baby. And I just sit back and I let them do and say what they want, and then I ask them this. They won't answer the question. Like David Penn, Professor Penn, I like the guy, but you can't get that dude to answer a simple question to save your life. David Penn will not answer a simple yes or no question. You can't get him to do. He's a Republican. Mitch Berg. I love Mitch. Been on Mitch's show. Can't get him to answer a simple question. Ever. This dude Frogtown that I go back and forth with. You cannot get a Republican to answer just a simple question. They got to take you all of word salad and all this here. You ask me a question, yes or no, I'm going to say yes or no. But they won't do it because they know if they answer the question, they have to sit there and say, I have to accept the truth. And that is the problem that these politicians are betting on, that you will not accept the truth. You will accept their lies. That's the problem. Now, again, Jason Lewis, who is a Republican, again, 10 years ago, exactly what you guys are hearing today, said it 10 years ago. Hey, what are we going to do? What can we do? What the heck's going on with all of this Somali fraud? He said it. This isn't new, people, and I've been telling you that. It's not new in the Somali community. It's not new in the Hmong community. It's not new in the Asian community. It's not new in the Nigerian community. It's not new in the African American community. It's not new in the European community. It's not new in Plymouth. It's not new in New Hope. It's not new in North Minneapolis, South Minneapolis, East Minneapolis, St. Paul, Woodbury. It's not new. But they want you to accept the lie. And then they feed it to their base, and then their base fight people who's giving you the truth. I can give you an example after example after example that it's not new. And I'll still have somebody, when I get off of here, that's going to go on my page and come up with something total. Well, what about the Democrats? What about them? That's not what the subject, and they love to try to change the subject. That's the big thing. How can I change this? How can I get Rev talking about something other than this here? Well, what about this, Rev? Knowing it's not going to work. Knowing that. But they try it anyway. So the problem is, again, and I'm showing you point blank. This is why I keep telling y'all, we got to get up from under these parties. We really, I realized that when I left the Tea Party. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to act like I'm all that in a bag of chips. Like I've never been in the same situation that some of you guys are in. I'm not going to do it. I came out as a Republican. When I first started voting, I went to Democrat. I went back to the Republican Party, fell back into the Democratic mindset of, oh, there's a black man, I got to vote for him. Realized that he was worse than the other people also. Thought I ran into a group of people, the Tea Party, that I can get behind and help, and I can be part of it. A black man can be part of it. They was going to accept me. That didn't work out. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to be on my own. I will not carry water for a party. Both parties that I've been a part, it's about shit. They ain't not one party, but y'all will swear by these son of a bitches. Yeah, you do. And they lie to you all the damn time. The Republicans are lying right now. The Democrats have already lied. When they act like they didn't know anything about what was going on, anything about this money, anything about this fraud. The Democrats have been using the black community. Why do you think the Democrats are so deep into the black community? Where do you think they're getting all this money? We didn't know anything about no nonprofit organizations. They taught us this stuff. They taught us how to write grants, how to get money, how to kick it back to them. Come on, people. The Democrats, yes, are just as slimy. But you guys don't get it. I don't think you want to get it. I think you enjoy this type of crap. I put out there today, I said, X, Twitter, if that's whatever you want to call it, it reminds me of people in Nineveh back in the day before Jonah went to Nineveh. And that pissed people off. They didn't stop for 5 seconds and think and put a thought in their mind. Well, what is listen, people, if I put something out on Twitter before it triggers you, what you need to do is think about it and go, what is he trying to say? I know what the headline says. I know what the title says, but he's saying something. What is it? Let me think before I get triggered, like everybody always do, and put this out there and then Rev run over me because I'm nowhere near where he's trying to get me to be. Let me think about it. That's all the thing I ask on my page. Just whatever I put out, don't let it trigger you at first. Now, if we have a conversation and it triggers you and you understand what it's about, then you can come at me. And that's what I'm saying here. We got to stop looking at the surface, people, because in here, the truth is in here. You know how they always say, well, the truth is in the middle. That's a true statement. That's a true statement. But you can't sit here and honestly say, you can't. You can't sit here and honestly say that the Democrats or the Republicans have really honestly made your life better. Because every time one gets in there, somebody messes up and then somebody else come in and then they mess up. What they've done is they made you feel good, right? They made you feel good. Only thing I ever ask is for them is just leave me the hell alone. Don't do anything that's going to cause a war where you got our young kids going off dying for nothing. Weapons of mass destruction. All our kids died for nothing. And you know what? You know what we did as Americans? You know what we did to them politicians? You know what nothing. Nothing. They killed our kids, and we did nothing. But we'll fight each other. Oh, we'll go after each other. We'll fight each other tooth and nail. Charlie Kirk died because of politics. No. One side sit here and says that he was this and he's that, or he's polarizing, he's this, and other side, he's a martyr and all that. But the truth is in the middle. Politics. Lisa Hortman died because of politics, because we have let these people mush our brains so much that we are willing to kill somebody for politics. And y'all don't see, but this is how I know. The very people who in their bio have the Bible or Bible quotes or Jesus or God or this is how I know you're phony. And again, let me, I'm going to say it again. I too was exactly like you. Boy, when I went over to the Tea Party, dude, I was ready to go after the Democrats. Let's go get them, Democrats. Whoa, let's go get them. I knew what the Democratic Party was. Let's go get them. You're right. Damn Democrats, we need to tear this thing apart because of them Democrats. And then being in the Tea Party, that showed me that we need to tear up the Republican Party also, because they ain't no good. I know people don't like hearing that. I know you came here because you're just like, well, Rev's going to be dogging on the Democrats, so I need to go over there and get fed. I'm not feeding you that. What I'm feeding you is we need to get from up under all of it. Because they just lie to us. They lie. The Republicans, as I am speaking, the Republicans in here in Minnesota has lied to you and still is lying to you. Because I just showed you 10 years ago, did I not? Jason Lewis sat there and talked about the Somali daycares. Yes, he did. If I have to replay it, hold on. No. See, because some people will even question what they just heard. Hold on. I want to go as far back with this as I possibly can. No, because I want to play it again. I want to play this again.
That are openly violating federal and state laws and regulations, taking money for personal use, using the money to set up a fraudulent child care client, and then providing a kickback has been reported. This is a major issue. There are allegations that, well, not just several, you've got 23 child care or daycare centers either closed or under investigation. The fraud may go as high as $100 million. Now think about that. In fiscal year 2018, Minnesota received $120 million in federal funding. The state contributed about $50 million in matching and maintenance funds, and we may have a fraud case of nearly $100 million in this state, with money then being transferred out of the country via MSP Airport. This is a big issue in my home state of Minnesota. Can you share with me what your agency is doing to investigate this? And I'm just wondering if we could not come up with some form of stricter enforcement to monitor the states that are receiving these funds to make certain that there's some sort of oversight here. Thank you for your testimony today.
Now, I need somebody to tell me what part of that don't you understand? Hold on. What you just heard this man say, what part of that don't you understand? Did you not understand that he said that to Somalis, that he said daycare, that he said money being carried out of here in the MSP airport? Did we all? I just want to make sure, because, again, there are people, trust me, when I say this, will sit and say, they didn't hear that. There are people They will say that. Rev, I don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't hear what you heard. I'm not kidding you when I'm saying, y'all think I'm joking. No, y'all think I'm joking. I sent this to Mitch, and this is what Mitch said to me. He said, I vaguely remember it. I sent that to him when he told me to prove to him that Tom Emmer would have known about the Somali fraud. This is what Mitch said. Go look at my timeline. Mitch said to prove to him that Tom Emmer would have known about the Somali fraud. I sent this to Mitch. And instead of Mitch coming back saying, Rev, I remember that, or Rev, okay, Tom Emmer should have known about the fraud 10 years ago. This is what Mitch writes. I vaguely remember it, right? As if this is what I'm talking about, people. It's those type people that I'm trying to get us to see and understand who's holding us back. That type of person is holding us back from getting to where we're trying to get. And my other question to Mitch was, who was the governor right here in Minnesota when the Somalians start coming here? When they started moving black people out of Cedar Riverside, who was the governor? Is that not a simple question? But because Mitch is who he is, because Professor Penn is who he is, Republicans, they can't answer, they won't answer the question. You know why? Because they have to believe the truth. If they answer that question, that simple question that anybody could have went and looked on the line, they have to admit the truth. And Mitch just can't do it. He just don't want to do it because he knows I'm right. But he can't break down and say it was Arnie Carlson who was governor when the Somalis start coming here. It was George Bush, the daddy, who was a Republican president when the Somalis start coming here. And Arnie Carlson said nothing. Arnie Carlson wouldn't have meetings with us, the black people in the black church, about moving black people out of Cedar Riverside. Would not. He shut his mouth. He closed his door, and he let that happen. See, so for Mitch to answer my question, Mitch now has to admit that the Republican Party, even with Jason Lewis saying what he said, their hands are just as dirty. And Mitch don't want to admit that. And no other Republican here in Minnesota wants to admit the truth. So this is why I tell you, you have to go to the middle. So when you're watching this stuff play out and you're watching that movie, pick out some of the little things that's in there. Those are the things that I'm talking about. I'll give you another example of something. Watch this. Watch this. So there's this guy named Mike Norton, right? His name is Mike Norton. And what Mike does, it's, and I love it. I'm not bashing Mike. I love what Mike does because it riles up people. I mean, what Mike does, it pisses people off. But what Mike does is he rides his bike around Minneapolis. And Mike goes to all the nice areas of Minneapolis. And he takes pictures of Minneapolis, correct? And he posts those pictures. And those pictures that Mike posts, it triggers it. No, it does. Go. I'll find him and I'll post it on my Get Up so you guys can read the comments. But because he does this, it pisses people off. Mainly right-wing people who live outside the city. They hate it. They hate when he does this. Because what they do to him is they go, well, what about the places you can't go, Mike? What about downtown? Well, what about this corner on such and such a time at night? Well, you can't go to North Minneapolis, Mike, and do that. Well, what? They hate it. But these same people, watch this now, these same people who are telling Mike that he can't go here or he won't go here, he won't go here, are applauding. Hold on, let me show you. You guys are applauding. Hold on. There's the so you guys are applauding this little white girl. The same people who are hating Mike for posting those pictures, talking about bad places that you can go and bad places that y'all just applauding this little white girl. Why? Because she took her little happy ass down to Cedar Riverside area, down to Somali daycares, harassing people. The very people who are getting mad at Mike for posting good places are applauding this little bad girl for going in bad areas, sticking microphones in people's faces in bad area. The area that this girl in, if there was a gunfight, and here's the part that y'all did not understand the other night, a couple nights ago, when I posted about Lisa Demoth and Nick Shirley talking about who helped who. Right? Nobody understood why I did that. Why did I put on there I believe Lisa versus Nick? Because Lisa said we helped. That's what Lisa said. Lisa said that they helped in that video. And then Nick came back and was like, no, I don't even know her. They didn't help. So I posted that. And again, only thing people did was read the surface. You didn't read the underline. The reason I need to know what part Lisa Demoth and the Republican Party played in that is when this little white girl, hold on, because y'all again, you're missing the point. So when this little white girl takes her ass down to Cedar Riverside and she makes the wrong turn and they get her ass, the Republicans are responsible for her. No, they are. Because they set in motion for her to go down there and harass them people. And then this son of a bitch who ain't done nothing for the black community, who don't know nothing of the black community, took this girl down there. He is responsible if something happens in the black community. He is responsible if something happens in the Somali community. This low-down son of a bitch right here is responsible for any little white kid that decide that they want to try to make TikTok money and they go down in them areas in the Somali community and something bad happens to them. The Republican Party got blood on their hands, period, point blank. If anything happened to one of these here white kids who decide to go down there thinking they're Nick, and these Somali boys who y'all have no clue, don't play, gets their hands on them. If they go down there and they're getting chased out of there by those Somali boys or whatever, and they get in a car accident and they die, the blood is on A.K. Kamara. Hold on. Because he took this little white girl down there. Yes, he did. His hands are bloody. If anything happens in the Somali community, that somebody gets hurt, a building gets burnt, A.K. Kamara and the Republican Party, that's who you blame. I don't want to see nobody come up talking about Democrats this, Democrats this, Democrats this if something bad happens down there. And y'all applauding this girl going down there. And you know how bad it is down there. And if you don't know how bad it is down there, look up Ward 6. Look up Ward 6 and see how bad Ward 6 is right now. And you're going to applaud these people going down there, starting trouble. Knowing what's down there. Knowing that girl can turn down. AK don't go down there. He couldn't tell you what street, what not to go down, and where you can go, and who you can talk to, and whatever. He can't. If they was to walk up on him, AK ain't got no more protection for that little girl than an ant with somebody trying to step on it. But because he want to get in this thing, he wants his face out there like an idiot. He takes this little white girl down there. You're out your... People, y'all have lost your mind. You don't understand. I can go down there because I know where to go. I know where to walk. I know who to talk to. I know if I see some people coming walking towards me, if they're safe or not. AK don't go down there. Just because he's got the skin color, don't get it fooled, people. He's not. So y'all applauding these people going down there doing this. And the minute something breaks off and somebody hurt, or some little white kid get hurt, then y'all gonna be want to fight. You won't be going down there retaliating. When they should never be down in those people community anyway. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, you wouldn't like it in your community. Y'all need to stop this stuff, man. Seriously. Because somebody's going to get hurt. We've already had people die over politics. When does it end? When does it stop? When do you finally go to Democrats are shit and the Republicans are shit and we're killing each other over it? We're doing stupid things over the Democrats and the Republicans. And it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that somebody wants to run down and pull on a door of somebody. It's already out there. 10 years ago, it was out there. What are you going to do that's different than to rile people up, piss people off, and make people defend themselves? Jonathan Mason was down there when Nick Shirley was down there. Nick Shirley said point blank he wanted to hit Jonathan Mason. Now, Jonathan Mason wouldn't have hit Nick. If Marcus was down there and Nick Shirley said, I want to hit you, Marcus would have knocked his damn teeth out of his mouth. He would have knocked him out on live TV without a problem. I know people that don't play. Now, Jonathan Mason, he did what he did. He played it off. Ha, ha, ha. Nick wants to hit me. Nick wants to punch me. Ha, ha. Jonathan's not going to knock him out. But I know people that if they was down there and Nick Shirley said that, knocked him out, and y'all would have been pissed upset, mad. Oh, look at that black man. Oh, my God, a black man just knocked down our hero. Well, your hero shouldn't have had his ass where he was at. But y'all put him down there. The Republican Party put him down there. And if the right person was down there when Nick said he wanted to punch somebody, when he threatened somebody, that punch that went to Nick's face, all the teeth that would have been on the ground from Nick's mouth, that would have been Lisa Demuth and the Republicans Party's fault. But you wouldn't have blamed them. You would have blamed the person who punched Nick in the mouth. That's what I'm talking about. That's why it's important, why I wanted to know. What part did Lisa Demuth and the Republican Party here in Minnesota play in this? Because the minute something happens to one of them little white kids who decide that they saw how much money Nick made, so they want to make their TikTok, and they go down there and they get in trouble, they get hurt, I want to make sure the Republican Party puts out a statement saying, we're sorry. We're sorry for putting the mob up to go down and harass people that got someone hurt, shot, killed, maimed in a car accident, whatever's going to happen. I want the Republican Party to make sure that they put their name on this. That's why I wanted to know who was telling the truth. Was it Lisa or was it Nick? Lisa said that they helped Nick go down there. Therefore, if something happens, the Republican Party right here in Minnesota is responsible whatever happens to any white kid that goes down there and do what they're doing. Same thing with that little white girl that AK took down there. He should be ashamed of himself, but he's not. He's not. He's pathetic, is what he is. And y'all know I'm right. You can be pissed at me if you want. You can be pissed at me if you want, but you know I'm right. You know I'm right. If you're going to sit here and swear up and down, oh, you can't go down to Minneapolis because it's so bad and blah, 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 but yet this little white girl go down there and y'all applauding her, the very people who won't go down there yourself, half of the people who are applauding this girl will not step foot in Minneapolis. I got people over there. Oh, I'll never go to Minneapolis. I'll never go to Minneapolis. Go to Mike Norton's page and read the comments. Read the comments when Mike posts his pictures. Listen, read what these people are saying about Minneapolis, about that area of Minneapolis. Y'all know I'm right. You know I'm right. That's what pisses you off. That's what pisses people off, because you know I'm right. Everything I just said. Yeah, you're pissed. I know. Be pissed. Be pissed. Be pissed enough to go find out stuff yourself. You don't believe what I just said? Find out yourself. Find out yourself. Look it up yourself. And then come back and talk to me then. But do not be setting these people up to go down there, people, because they're only going to get hurt. I'm telling you what I know. Hell, kids bouncing up and down on trampolines get shot in the head. Kids reading their books kids reading their books right there in their homes get shot. They had one guy. What was that? This other fool. Hold on. Because you know I'm right. I'm on a roll. Where's he at? Oh, here's another one. Right? So, where's he at? Hold on. Not that nut. This other nut. This one. This fool. So he goes down here in the middle of the night, messing with these people. And if them Somali boys were to come around and get this nut, y'all gonna blame the people who got him. That's who you're gonna blame. You're not gonna blame this fool for going down there messing with people. You're sitting there applauding these people, giving them the right to harass people in their own community. That's not right. Fraud or not. It's just, you know as well as I do that's not right. But you don't care. It's not about you. But 10 years ago, I can see if y'all would have had this here type of reaction hearing about the fraud. Because Jason Lewis talked about it. Other people talked about it. The Republicans knew, people. They all knew. Tom Emmer knew. So for them to sit up here and protect this crap is pathetic. It's pathetic. And I'm not saying anything to protect anybody. I told y'all I've been talking about the Somali fraud for years. Ain't nobody hearing me. I've been talking about the fraud that goes on in the black community in North Minneapolis for years. Ain't nobody hearing me. But right now, what I'm talking about is harassment, and I'm talking about keeping people safe. Because, see, if something was to break out, and I have to once again put my AR-15 across my chest and go down there to protect them and protect that city, I want to know that I'm doing it for a good reason and a good cause. And the cause isn't some little white kid going down there sticking telephones and mics in people's faces. Because if that happens, bye-bye to the kid. Seriously, period, point blank. Y'all going to applaud this crap? You're going to be stupid enough to give these kids the okay to go down and harass people? You're going to be like an AK Camaro? That idiot? And take people down there like it's a tour? Listen, I'll say it again. We're better than this. The lies, we're better than this. The foolishness, we're better than, we are as a people. I said it, I'll say it again. I started to explain it. I put out there and I said X is just like Nineveh. If y'all know what Nineveh was, look in your Bible, go to Jonah. Before Jonah went to the city. God wanted to destroy Nineveh. He did. It was so bad. Twitter, I was on Twitter before Elon took it over. Y'all. No, you won't even get me to believe that Twitter hadn't changed when Elon took it over. Twitter is Nineveh before Jonah went there. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're not astute on your Bible, go to Jonah and read what God said. Read what Jonah said about Nineveh. And then I want you to sit back and I want you to think about Twitter or X. I ain't got no reason to lie to you. I ain't got no reason to tell you anything different than what I see. But I guarantee you, if your mind is open enough, you're going to understand then exactly what I just said. And it wasn't until Jonah went down there that Nineveh changed. Well, there's not going to be a Jonah on Nineveh coming to Nineveh unless it's sold by Elon Musk. And until that happens, X will be Nineveh before Jonah went down there. Go to your Bible, go to Jonah, and read. And then you will understand exactly what I just said. Exactly what I just said. I'm just saying, people, don't believe the lies. And if you follow me and I put something out before you hit send because it triggered you, this is what I would do. I would sit here and go, there's something inside this tweet. I'm either going to wait because he's going to follow it with something, or I'm just going to ask, Rev, can you just give me a clue? I'm just saying. I'm not giving, you're not, no, because I'm not giving you the answer right away. That's what people want. Nobody wants to do any work. Nobody wants to do any research. Nobody wants to sit back and think for a couple of seconds. You want the answer right away. Well, I got other bad things I need to do. I don't need to be over here with you, Rev, learning something. I got to go over here and deal with the lies. I would rather deal with the lies, Rev, than be over here actually making me think, use my brain and think about this. It's easier for me to listen to these here lies that are being told. I can get by great that way, but the reason I can't hang out with you is because you do this. You make me think, and I can't think, and I don't want to think. Just lie to me, Rev, and get it over with, because you're killing me now. Those are facts, people. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. You know it. You know it. You know it. That's why y'all don't want to come on here and talk to me. Somebody, I keep asking people, if you're not doing anything, come hang out with me. Nobody want to come hang out with me because they think I'm going to ask them questions and they got to answer. They got to answer. I promise you, I want to ask you a question. I promise. You know what? I'll give you a whole hour. I'll sit here and listen to you talk. You can talk about whatever you want. Totally up to you. It's totally up to you. But I got to get on here real quick, so I got to answer Mitch because I gotta remind Mitch when Arnie Carlson was the governor of the. Y'all look up Arnie Carlson. Look up Arnold Carlson, the governor of Minnesota. What year? Because it's funny to me here. It's funny to me how Mitch put in here who left. Watch this. This is what I'm talking about. So I asked Mitch what year, who was the governor of Minnesota, right? When the Somalis starts coming in. So instead of Mitch giving me when Arnie Carlson became governor to when he was end of governor, know what Mitch does? Mitch goes, who left office in 2008. This is what I'm talking about. They cannot be honest. It kills them to be honest. Mitch could have easily sat there and said, you know what? I think Arnie Carlson was governor in like 1990, 91, 92. That's when that's when they start moving black people out of Riverside. 92 is the first group of Somalians that came here to Minnesota under Arnold Carlson, a Republican governor who would not talk to black folks. That's the truth. And Mitch just, no matter what I give him, I'm giving him, the thing about it, I give him the answers. And because Mitch is a Republican and he does what Republicans do, he just don't want to answer the question. Because he knows if I answer this question for the Rev, if I give him and it's not satisfaction to me, it's teaching him something, like I told him yesterday, so I can open his eyes. There's not satisfaction to me. I like doing this. I like teaching. I like making people actually think about how they're going to answer something. And Mitch is just going round and around. He's doing what I knew he was going to do. I knew this is what I was going to get out of Mitch. I knew that. There's no doubt. But that's what he put on it. Then he said, when Tom Emmer was still a state representative. Yeah, Tom Emmer was a state representative. He was a Republican state representative when the Somalians start moving here to Minnesota. He was also a state representative when the fraud started. A Republican. He was also in Washington when the fraud came out and when Jason Lewis was in Washington at the time talking about the Somali fraud in the daycare. Tom Emmer was. So see what I'm saying? Bitch, this is what he does. This is what they do. It was a simple question and he turned it into something that didn't have to. So I have to bring out more facts just so he can go. The thing about it, here's how it's supposed to work. They're supposed to just keep going around the block and trying to exhaust you. But what they don't realize is I do this all the time. I do it. This isn't exhausting to me. I can do this as long as Mitch can. I can keep giving him facts, and he can keep trying to find a way to jump over those facts all he wants. So again, lie to me, Rev. It's better, right? It's better. Hey, fam, I hope y'all have an awesome weekend. I hope and pray, and I've prayed for us as a nation. I've prayed for us as the fam and as a family. Going into this here new year, I hope and I pray that God holds everybody in a situation of peace, love, and happiness. And I hope that when tragedy strikes, that again, God put peace in your heart, love in your spirit, and understanding in your mind going into this new year. And I hope we can get enough people going into this new year who says, because the world is changing, I want to be on that side of change. See, it's not going to change while I'm here. But what I can do is everything possible in my power to help the change be better. Because like I said, I'm not worried about my grandkids. Because all my grandkids are mixed kids. Right? Because my Aiden, you couldn't tell what he is. So he'll be able to fit in anywhere. My other two, they're going to be just as fine. But is your grandkids and your great-grandkids and great-great-grandkids, are they going to be okay? Do you care? Do you want to make this place better for when you leave here? I mean, that's a lot of times it's a plan. People want to make a better place, like Michael Jackson said. Make a better place for you and me. Make a better place for the ones who are going to be left here after we're gone. I want to leave here, and I want my grandkids to go, Papa gave it everything he could to make sure that we were good. He did everything possible. He used his voice, he used his feet, he used his hands, he used his eyes, he used a little bit of wisdom that God gave him. That's why I don't understand why I mean, I didn't pop up like this yesterday. It took a while for me to get in. Like I told y'all, I did the Republican, Democrat, Tea Party, Republican progressive. I mean, Democrat progressive. I did all of that stuff. And you know where it got me? Nowhere. But it taught me to be better. Being a Democrat taught me to be better than a Republican. Being a Republican taught me to be better than a Democrat. And that both of those taught me that I didn't want anything to do with any one of those parties. But y'all keep carrying the water for the Democrats, and y'all keep carrying the water for the Republicans. And in 5 years from now, I'm going to ask you a question. Where did it get you? What's better in your life now because you carried water for this party and this party? What's better in your life? See, I have seen bodies laying in the street before they put the tarp on the body. 14, 15, 16-year-old boys. I have hugged mothers. I have sank to the ground with the mother while I'm holding them, trying to hold them up. I have been to a homeless camp and almost literally adopted some of the kids in the homeless camp. Have asked you guys to help me. We pulled. If you've been with me long enough, about 5 years ago, you guys helped me pull a kid out of the gang. We bought him clothes, we set him up, we helped his grandmother. That same kid, right? He went to Rainy River College. That same kid we pulled out of the gang that you guys helped me with. That some of you was sending me money to send to him while he was in school. That kid who graduated was an associate degree. Who is right now a journeyman? I think it's what is it? Journey, then master. He's like he's like close to getting his like top level is it division or whatever in being a plumber. He's got like one more jump and he's like up here as far as being a plumber. Making good money, living in Maple Grove. That kid, y'all help me with that kid. Y'all help me with that kid. I have been in the detention center downtown over and over and over again, seeing these kids who got hope in their eyes. I also seen kids who the hope in their eyes are gone. They've checked out. That is our future, people. Some of these little girls that's down there in the women's facility, those are our futures. They're not going to be in jail for long. They're going to get out. And they need a place and they need things to do other than keeping robbing us and stealing your cars and things of that sort. But again, there are people who look at it and say, that's not my problem. I don't have to worry about it. I do. I don't have a choice. So going into this new year, people, I just hope that each and one of you find some peace. And then once you find that peace within yourself, you do what God has asked each and every one of us to do. Is to take care of take care of the poor, take care of the oppressed, take care of the downtrodden, right? Take care of the hungry, take care of the ones who you know is going to come out on the other side and it's not going to be good. That's what God, honestly, other than you giving God your heart, your mind, your spirit, and your soul, read your book, people. That's what God also put us here for. Works. And you can have faith all you want, but works also count. So going into 2026, put it in your mind that this is the year I'm going to turn things around. Put this in my mind that this is the year. John said vets. Yeah. You got, speaking of the vets, John, you guys helped me get those wheelchairs for those vets. You guys did that. You guys helped me get those shoes for that vet that was on the corner on Lowry and Broadway. On Lowry. You guys, Lowry and 94. You guys helped me get those shoes for him. Y'all did that. We got vets out there on the street right now. You know what? You know what $9 billion would have done for some of our vets who are on the streets right now? $9 billion. You know what $9 billion would have done for a couple people who are going through, or struggling right now? We could have had a place, or we could downtown. We could put some of these people who want it. Now there's some people hold on. There's some people who are in these camps that don't want help. They don't. They don't want help, and they're never going to get any help. But $9 billion, just think about what that could have done for a whole group of people. Not just one group, but a whole group of people. There's people in Glencoe, Minnesota. See, here's the part a lot of people don't talk about. But I can talk about it because I've been out there. I've helped white families out in Glencoe, Minnesota. Yes, I have. The school out there, right? The money you guys donated to it, that we gave to the school teacher in Glencoe, Minnesota, to help her buy some stuff for her classroom and everything. For two of the farmers that once we helped her, she told us about these two families, farmers, right? When I came back and y'all helped me with them too. White people out there in Glencoe, Minnesota. The white couple that was out in Medina that we helped, correct? So I appreciate, and especially Christmas. Especially Christmas. 26 families. We help white, we help Mexicans, we help black people, and there was another an Asian family, and y'all did that. So everybody who pitched in to help us during that Christmas run, thank you guys so much. Seriously, thank you. That's what we do, and I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate y'all so much. All right. But y'all have a good one. I'm going to get off of this here thing. I got to go up here. My wife bought me a slushy machine. And this thing, we broke it out during New Year's when my grandkids was over here. Got it to work and went and bought some because they like that Baja Blast. But she got me this slushy machine. And it makes slushies, it makes milkshakes and all of that. So what I get to do is I just drink water all through the day. I can't have no sugar at all from the time I get up at all, in order for me to have that much of a slushy. Because I'm a slushy connoisseur. No, I'm a slushy connoisseur. If anything, slushies. I am a slushy connoisseur. from the 7-Eleven. The best slushies in the world is 7-Eleven. Best ones in the world. You don't get any better than a slushie from 7-Eleven. And then the McDonald's ones are okay. Taco Bell, yeah. And then you got to go to your convenience stores. Some of them are pretty rocky. They're icy. They're just more ice than actually slushy. Burger Kings, they're okay. But this machine that my wife just got me, when we did the ones for New Year's, oh my God. You can set the thickness of this thing, and I'll take a picture so y'all can see it. But that's what I'm about to go do now. Because I've waited all afternoon. John said bluegrass and cherry. I got the cherry Coke, right? With everything. But anyway, I'm about to go try this thing out again. And I've been waiting all day for this. So anyway, I got to get off this thing, fam. I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good weekend. Be good to each other and be good to yourself, right? Be good to somebody, but mainly be good to yourself. And be happy, man, and put a smile on your face. And you know what we do with those smiles? We go out and we smile at somebody, so somebody smile back at you. Peace, fam. I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye now.